Tennessee's candidates for governor took the stage Friday night for the last time before Election Day, finding common ground on issues like enforcement of immigration laws, third-party investigations of fatal police shootings, and the state's involvement with companies supporting Colin Kaepernick. Republican Bill Lee and Democrat Karl Dean, former Nashville mayor, faced each other for their third debate, the second in 1 week, this time held at Belmont University's Troutt Theater. In a race where few punches have been thrown and debates have remained civil, the nominees began the debate largely agreeing on the first question. As governor, how would they respond to making decisions about death row inmates scheduled to die? The question came a day after Republican Gov. Bill Haslam granted a 10-day reprieve in the scheduled execution of Edmund Zagorski, both answering that they would uphold and follow the law and evaluate the situation on a case-by-case basis. On other questions, they agreed that the state should not get involved in public universities' contracts with companies taking controversial stances, such as Nike, which used Kaepernick, an NFL player who protested police brutality by kneeling during the national anthem, in marketing materials. They agreed that the state should enforce its law to revoke the business license of companies employing undocumented workers, and that the state should consider requiring small businesses to also use the E-Verify system if it isn't too burdensome on small business owners. The two candidates said they were in favor of requiring that the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation investigate all fatal police shootings. Memphis debate, Dean, Lee address gun access, police shootings during debate for governor in Memphis. Dean supports, Lee uncertain on medical marijuana. While both candidates said they were opposed to the legalization of recreational marijuana, Dean said he supported medical cannabis being made legal and would sign legislation that did so. If this will alleviate pain, if this will help somebody relieve their suffering, then the government shouldn't stand in the way of that, Dean said. Lee said he wasn't convinced that legalizing medical marijuana is the right approach. I think we've yet to fully search and fully utilize and fully research and expand on the use of non-addictive, low-THC CBD oils in this state as a treatment for those conditions, Lee said. For me, the data is not substantive enough to show that medical marijuana is the right approach right now. I would pursue other options first. In addition to supporting medical marijuana, Dean said he was in favor of decriminalizing simple possession of marijuana, especially for first-time offenders, explaining that a conviction for even a small amount of marijuana on the record of a young person can hurt their career prospects and ability to find housing. Democratic former Nashville Mayor Karl Dean speaks during the final gubernatorial debate at Belmont University Friday, October 12, 2018, in Nashville, Tennessee. Photo, Mark Humphrey. He raised concerns with the way black offenders are disproportionately targeted with the charge. There's a lot of racial disparities in the way marijuana laws have been enforced, Dean said. Lee said he was in favor of using drug courts for low-level offenses, but remains against decriminalization. Lee against raising gas tax. Dean says he's willing. Asked about whether they would support Tennessee raising its gas tax again, as occurred last year under Haslam's Improve Act, which restored the state's depleted transportation fund for road construction, the candidates differed. Praising Haslam, as he did multiple times throughout the night, Dean said he would always be willing to make those tough decisions, as Gov. Haslam did. The Improve Act raised the tax for the first time in 20 years. Describing a rapidly changing transportation industry, Lee said he believed raising the tax wasn't the right long-term revenue solution if fuel usage is set to drop amid technology improvements. Relying on fuel tax to fund the transportation of the future is not the direction we will be going, Lee said. I think we have to find funding in other ways. Gas tax. Karl Dean proposes plan to allow counties to implement their own gas tax. Candidates agree. No quick fix on TN Ready and how to immediately address problems with TN Ready, the state's standardized testing program that has experienced a number of technical complications in recent years. Neither candidate had specific answers on how to ensure the system is fixed. Lee said he would do a reset and examine the system, while Dean suggested the state listen to the voices of teachers in developing a new standardized testing system. Both called for the state to find a new vendor, but acknowledged that the improvement may not take place quickly, with Dean noting it may not occur before spring standardized this school year. Republican businessman Bill Lee speaks during the final gubernatorial debate at Belmont University Friday, October 12, 2018, in Nashville, Tennessee. Photo, Mark Humphrey. "I think you just have to recognize that we might not be ready this time," Dean said. "It might not happen in April because of the scheduling. We get to come into office in January, and having this thing up and running in April, which hasn't happened in 3 years, seems to me to be very optimistic." Lee also noted he believed there was no quick fix, and suggested the state may be issuing too many tests as it is. "This process is not going to be solved all at once," Lee said. More TN-ready recommendations from, listening to or sent to Gov. Bill Haslamdian receives applause on Medicaid expansion answer. The candidates were shown a clip of Middle Tennessee resident Kelly Gregory, a breast cancer patient who could only qualify for TennCare after being diagnosed with the terminal illness, and asked what they would do to secure coverage for more Tennesseans. Both candidates stuck to their usual healthcare talking points. Dean, who identified Gregory as a supporter of his in the race, touted benefits of Medicaid expansion in Tennessee to secure coverage for working people who can't afford insurance. He noted the billions of dollars in federal funding the state left on the table by declining to expand Medicaid, an effort Haslam led unsuccessfully. "We turned down a proposal that Gov. Bill Haslam worked hard on, that would have protected our state, that would have been better than most states have gotten, and the legislature said no," Dean said. "But the most telling this that our legislature has no plan B." More, Karl Dean continues to push Medicaid. Education is top issues in his bid for Tennessee Governor. Finn pressed by moderators on how he would accomplish expansion when state lawmakers have previously declined to expand. Dean said he would meet with them to find a solution, expecting them to acknowledge that voters will have spoken in favor of expansion by electing him. "This is self-serving, but it's the truth," Dean said. "If you want Medicaid expansion, you vote for Karl Dean for governor." Some in the crowd erupted in applause, prompting a moderator to ask them to remain quiet. Lee reiterated his usual point on the issue, that he believes the healthcare system is fundamentally flawed and is a broken system, and that the state's focus should be on reducing the cost of care. "You develop a system that has incentives to lower the cost," said Lee, who has suggested coordinated care and telemedicine as examples of how he plans to reduce healthcare costs for residents. Early voting for the November 6 election begins October 17. Kingsport debate, no punches. 3 takeaways as Karl Dean, Bill Lee debated in Kingsport. Reach Natalie Allison at Tennessean.com. Follow her on Twitter at @Natalie_Allison. Read or share this story. https://www.tennessean.com/story/news/politics/tn-election/2018/10/12/Karl-Dean-bill-lead-tennessee-governor-gas-tax-health-care/16071960002/